They called her a mistake at the dinner table. Not loudly. Not with anger. It was said the way people say facts they believe have already been settled. Her father cleared his throat, adjusted his napkin, and said it like a correction. You were never part of the plan. We did our best with you anyway. Her mother didn't look up from her plate. Her fork scraped porcelain as she added, You should be grateful we didn't give you up when we had the chance. The room went quiet in the way it does when cruelty lands, exactly where it's meant to. There were 6 of them at the table. Her parents at the head. Her older sister. Perfect posture. Perfect smile. Her younger brother. Scrolling on his phone. Smirking without even pretending to hide it. An aunt who pretended not to hear. An uncle who stared at his wine. And her. She was 21. She had worn the only dress she owned that didn't have stains. She had brought a grocery store cake because she couldn't afford anything else. She had practiced smiling in the mirror beforehand, reminding herself to sit straight, to speak softly, to not give them a reason. They gave themselves one anyway. Her sister laughed first. I mean, look at her. She never fit. Not like us. Her mother finally looked up then, eyes cool and assessing. You've always been too much trouble for too little return. Her father sighed, as if exhausted by her existence. We paid for your food. Your roof. You owe us gratitude. Not resentment. She opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. Nothing came out. The words stacked up behind her teeth like bricks. Years of swallowing. Years of shrinking. Years of being told she was dramatic. Sensitive. Ungrateful. Wrong. She stood instead. The chair legs screeched against the floor. Everyone looked at her like she had broken a rule. I just wanted dinner, she said quietly. Her sister rolled her eyes. There she goes again. Her father waved a hand. Sit down. Don't make a scene. Her hands were shaking, so she pressed them into fists. You already did. Her mother snorted. Oh, please. You're always the victim. She reached into her bag. She hadn't planned to do this, but she pulled out her wallet anyway and placed it on the table. She opened it, counted the bills. $42. She slid it toward her father. For the food, she said, so you can say I owe you. Her brother laughed out loud. That's it. That's all you've got. Her sister leaned forward, eyes gleaming. Pathetic. She picked up her backpack. It held her clothes, her documents, a notebook, everything she owned that mattered. She looked at them one last time, at the people who shared her blood and none of her loyalty. I want to come back, she said. Her mother smiled thinly. You always say that. She walked out. No one followed her. Outside, the night air felt sharp against her skin. The porch light buzzed overhead, flickering like it couldn't decide whether she deserved illumination. She walked until her feet hurt. Then she kept walking. That night, she slept on a bus bench with her backpack under her head and her jacket wrapped tight. She cried silently so no one would hear. She stared at the sky and promised herself something she didn't fully understand yet. They would never humiliate her again. The first year nearly broke her. She worked 3 jobs, cleaning offices at night, serving coffee in the morning, stocking shelves on weekends. She slept in cheap rooms and sometimes in her car when she couldn't afford rent. She learned how hunger feels different when it's constant, not occasional. She learned not to ask for help. Every time she wanted to quit, she remembered the way her father's voice sounded when he said she wasn't part of the plan. She remembered the smirk on her sister's face. Spite kept her standing when hope couldn't. The second year, she enrolled in night classes. She studied until her eyes burned. She carried her backpack everywhere like armor. No one cheered for her milestones. No one clapped when she passed exams. No one cared. It was peaceful. The third year, she got a job that paid just enough to quit one of the others. She moved into a studio apartment with a window that faced a brick wall. But it was hers. She sat on the floor the first night and laughed until she cried. The fourth year, she stopped dreaming about them. The fifth year, she stopped hating them. The sixth year, she stopped feeling anything at all when their names crossed her mind. By the 8th year, she was unrecognizable. She had a career, not a flashy one, but a powerful one. She worked in healthcare administration, specializing in crisis management and legal compliance. She knew systems. She knew contracts. She knew how to keep institutions alive when they were bleeding out. She owned a home. Not huge. Solid. Quiet. Safe. She had friends who respected her boundaries. A life built carefully. Deliberately. With no room for people who treated love like leverage. She hadn't spoken to her family once. Not when her sister got married. Not when her brother flunked out of school. Not when her aunt died. They stopped trying after the second year. She assumed they had forgotten her. She was wrong. The call came on a Tuesday afternoon while she was reviewing a report. Unknown number. She let it ring. It rang again. Something in her chest tightened. She answered. Hello. There was breathing on the other end. Ragged. Uneven. Is this her? Her name. Spoken carefully. Like it might explode. Yes. She said. Her mother's voice cracked through the line. We need you. Silence stretched. Her first instinct was to laugh. Her second was to hang up. Instead, she said, Why? Her mother cried then. Full, ugly sobs. The kind she had never been allowed to make as a child. Everything else falling apart. She said, Your father, he's sick. Very sick. The house, there are debts. Legal things. We don't understand them. Your sister, she can handle it. Your brother's gone. We don't know what to do. The words hit her like rain on stone. She felt nothing. Why me? She asked again. There was hesitation. Then honesty. Stripped bare by desperation. Because you're the only one who can fix this. She closed her eyes. 8 years ago, they had told her she was a mistake. Now she was their solution. She didn't go back right away. She asked for documents, financial records, medical reports, property deeds. She reviewed everything with the same precision she used at work. They were ruined. Her father's illness was advanced. Treatment options were expensive and time-sensitive. The house was mortgaged 3 times over. Lawsuits hovered like vultures. Her sister had drained accounts trying to maintain appearances. Her brother had vanished with borrowed money and burned bridges. They were drowning. She drove to the house a week later. The porch light had been replaced. The paint was peeling. The lawn was overgrown. The door opened slowly when she knocked. Her mother stood there. Smaller somehow. Older. Fear etched deep into her face. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Then her mother reached out. She didn't step into the embrace. Let us be clear. She said calmly. I am not here to reconcile. Her mother's hands dropped. I am here to assess. She continued. If I help, it will be on my terms. Her mother nodded quickly. Anything. Inside, everything smelled the same. Cleaner and disappointment. Memories tried to surface. She didn't let them. Her father lay on the couch. Thinner. Weaker. Eyes darting when he saw her. You came, he said, surprise coloring his voice. Yes, she said. Nothing more. Her sister hovered nearby, brittle and defensive. So you finally decided to show up. She looked at her sister. Really looked. The confidence was gone. The superiority cracked. I am not here for you, she said. Her sister flushed. Over the next days, she took control. She spoke to lawyers, doctors, banks. She restructured debt, negotiated settlements, filed paperwork that should have been done years earlier. She was efficient, professional, cold. Her parents watched her like she was something both miraculous and terrifying. At night, she stayed in a hotel. She didn't sit at their table. She didn't eat their food. She didn't pretend. When her father asked, weakly, why are you doing this? She answered honestly, because I can, she said, and because I choose how this ends. The words haunted them. When the worst of the crisis passed, she gathered them in the living room. Her father reclined, exhausted. Her mother clutched a tissue. Her sister crossed her arms. Her brother was still absent. IV stabilized things, she said, but I want to save you. Her mother's face crumpled. What does that mean? It means, she said evenly, I'll ensure medical care is arranged. The house will be sold. Debts will be paid as much as possible. You'll have modest accommodations. No luxuries. No illusions. Her sister scoffed. You think you can decide this? She turned to her sister slowly. I already have. Her sister opened her mouth. Closed it. There's one condition. She continued. After this, there is no relationship. No contact. No rewriting history. Her mother sobbed. We re your family. She met her gaze without flinching. You were. Her father tried to sit up. We made mistakes. Yes, she said. And this is the consequence. She left the next morning. Over the following months, everything unfolded exactly as she predicted. The house sold. The image shattered. The neighbors whispered. The perfect family narrative collapsed under the weight of reality. She ensured her father received care. She ensured her mother wasn't homeless. She never visited. When her father died, she attended the funeral quietly, stood at the back, left before anyone could speak to her. Her mother sent letters. Apologies. Memories were written in desperate ink. She never responded. Years later, sitting on her porch, she thought about that dinner table, about $42 and a backpack. She thought about power, not the loud kind, not the cruel kind, the kind that comes from walking away and building a life so solid that even those who broke you have to bow to it. She had not forgiven them. She had not needed to. She had done something far more devastating. She had moved on, and they had lived the rest of their lives knowing that the daughter they dismissed as a mistake was the only one strong enough to decide their ending.